Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe. Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk News. I'm Ollie Davis. The Royal Rumble on Sunday, Raw on Monday, SmackDown and 205 Live on Tuesday, NXT last night. You're probably thinking, there just isn't enough wrestling around these days. So thank you Netflix for bringing seasons 1 and 2 of Lucha Underground to the streaming service. The news was first broken by MLW Radio, who say that El Rey's show will be available on there from the 15th of February in the US and Canada, which Netflix themselves later confirmed. This doesn't affect Lucha Underground's first run airing on the El Rey network, and the second half of season 3 will begin on the 31st of May. News broke yesterday that Seth Rollins re-injured his right knee on this week's episode of Raw. Unfortunately, it isn't just the Architect who is currently out of action right now in WWE. On this week's 205 Live, former Cruiserweight champion Rich Swann revealed he injured his foot during his brawl with Neville on Raw. 205 Live's official Twitter account revealed as much by posting a quote from Swann: "I hurt my ankle last night, kicking the crown off of Neville's head," and an image of some outlandish crutches. But as the mysterious Cruiserweight god taketh away, he also giveth in the form of Akira Tozawa, who made his debut defeating Aaron Solo on this week's episode. Raw General Manager Mick Foley also might be missing from WWE soon, revealing on Facebook that he is now cleared to get hip surgery. Hip hip hooray! Excellent pun. I am cleared for hip surgery. It took a couple months, but I was able to get my health insurance back. And I'll be getting my right hip replaced whenever I have a break in my schedule. The bad news is that a hip replacement will not allow me to fly for about 6 weeks due to potential blood clotting issues, which can be fatal. Really nothing to play around with. The good news is that the GM position doesn't offer much in the way of long-term job security, so that break might present itself as a natural course of events. Despite the Wrestling Observer, Pro Wrestling Sheet and WWE themselves all confirming Foley would be taking time off from Raw late last year because he's in excruciating pain, traveling weekly to the shows, and his impending surgery, he still showed up at December's Roadblock and the following episodes of Raw. The situation was described to be a bit of a disaster because Stephanie McMahon was also off for the Christmas period, and WWE suddenly found itself without an authority figure for Monday nights, and you can't have that. Foley then revealed he'd missed a payment on his health insurance, meaning his planned surgery was in jeopardy. Thankfully, this now seems to be resolved. Foley's post suggests he'll be missing at least 6 weeks of Raw because of not being allowed to fly, which, depending on when he gets the surgery, might take him out of the road to WrestleMania. It's a shame they don't have any Olympic gold medalists to replace him. Another person out with injury right now is Finn Balor. It was heavily speculated that he could be making his in-ring return as the surprise number 30 entrant. No, not the flashbacks again! Forget the Rumble! Especially because the early estimates had him returning in January, and PW Insiders report that Balor was undergoing medical testing on Royal Rumble week for possible clearance. This week's Wrestling Observer newsletter reveals that he was not cleared in that assessment, and because the target return was late February or more likely early March, he might not have ever been properly considered for a surprise Rumble entrance. However, he's expected to be on the WrestleMania show in some form. How would you book Finn Balor's WWE return? Tell me in a feud with The Undertaker to stop the reported Roman Reigns WrestleMania match from happening in the comments below. If you want to watch my review of the Royal Rumble or learn more about when Seth Rollins' injury first broke, click the videos to the left and subscribe. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.